Namaskar. Technology affects the way individuals communicate, learn, and think. With the incorporation of technology into education, the main purpose is to change how teachers and students gather, access, analyze, present, and transmit information. Technology has been transforming education, changing how, when, and where students learn, and empowering them at every stage of their educational journey. In this context, I am delighted to welcome all of you who are the important stakeholders of the education system to this session on use of technology in education. As part of the last session of 8 days long webinar series of National Education Policy 2020 celebrating its first year. The resource person of today's session is Ms. Asma Rani. She is working as an assistant professor in Computer Science Engineering Department, DBRADE, since 2016. Before joining here, she worked as lecturer at Birla Institute of Technology and Science, Pilani, Rajasthan, India. She has 16 years of teaching experience and has completed her MTech in Computer Science during 2009 and BTech Computer Science and Engineering in 2004 from Kurukshetra University. She is currently pursuing PhD from BITS Pilani, Pilani. She has published 9 research papers in reputed international conferences in ACM, Springer, and IEEE. Her current research interests are data provenance, temporal databases, graph databases, data analytics, decision support system, and fuzzy logic. Ms. Asma Rani.
Good afternoon, everyone. Today, as a part of the National Education Policy 2020, I'm talking about the use of technology in education, and we all are very used to the technology in last 1.5 year due to this pandemic, and all of us know that how the technology is affecting our day-to-day life, and especially in this education sector we all know how this technology is impacting us. And these days, because of this technology, because of this pandemic, all the schools, colleges are shut, but still the teaching and learning is going on. How this is possible? Because of the technology only. Anyone who have the passion to learn, they can learn through the technology. It's up to you only whether to take this technology in the positive side or in the negative side. You can grow with the technology, you can use the technology in the positive way, right? So because of this technology only, the definition of the illiterate has changed in this century, that is the 21st century. Earlier we used to say that the illiterate are the ones who cannot read or write, but now, because of this technology, the illiterate are not those who cannot read and write, but illiterate are those who cannot learn or unlearn. Because we, the people, we have the technology in these days, we have lots of the resources with us in our hands. It's up to us only how to use those resources, whether we want to grow or we just want to waste our time on the this internet only. So that's why this is the definition given by the Elvin Toffler on the illiterate of this 21st century. Now you can think yourself whether you are going to illiterate or literate this year. So now coming to my topic. So these are the contents of my presentation. So first of all, what actually the technology, where it is used, the technology is used in every classroom, because now we are moving towards the virtual classroom, like in the Google Meet or the Google Classroom or the Zoom meeting or in the WebEx. We have the technology in everyone's hand, like for the students, you are attending the classes through your mobile phones, you are attending the classes through your desktop computers, you are preparing your presentations. So now that technology is becoming as the pen and paper of this time. We are not writing on the blackboards like in the physical classroom. We are doing everything onto our systems. So this system, this technology is becoming the pen and paper of this time for everyone. Either the classrooms are going from the physical to the virtual classroom. For the students and the teachers, for us also, this is becoming the pen and the paper. Because of this advancement in the technology, This advancement in the technology is actually having a very beautiful effect on the learning and the teaching. And earlier we whatever we have to do, we used to go to the libraries to search for the content, to search for the books, for the journals, for any papers. But now these days, because of the digital libraries, because of the technology, everything is available over the internet in the digital libraries. You don't have to go anywhere. You can simply download the things whatever you required, and then you can do your work, you can plan your work in that way. Still, we are not saying that these e-library, these digital libraries are replacing the physical libraries. No, they have their own place. But the digital libraries are actually from where you can get all the information at any time, right? So there are the different keywords here under this education technology, that is the teaching. What actually the teaching is? Values, sharing of the values, ideas, and the beliefs by a teacher with the students. And the pedagogy is what? This is the method of the teaching, how we are teaching. Whether we are using the earlier, that is the chalkboard, whether we are moving towards the presentations, or whether we are moving towards the video lectures, or whether we are moving towards the interactive video lectures also. In the IIT Bombay, they have developed a tool of the Bodhi tree, in which they are preparing the interactive video lectures. So these are different from the video lectures. Like here, if I am preparing a video lecture and sharing the contents with you. I don't know whether you are reading that, whether you are going through those videos or not. I don't know. But if I will make it as an interactive video lectures, then I will know who have attended the session, because in that interactive lectures, interactive videos, I can add the questions in between after every topic. Like after the 2 minutes, I have added a quiz. You have to attempt the quiz. Without attempting the quiz, you cannot go ahead. So that interactive video lectures will let us know that whether you have attended the session or not, because your assessments will tell all the things, right? So now after this is the technology. That technology is changing actually the pedagogy. Your method of the teaching is changed by the technology. We have the different technical means these days, and which are actually affecting our day to day life, not only the education sector, in everywhere, in other sectors also, like in the health sectors or in the applied science. Everywhere the technologies are used. So now this technology is actually a word which is coming from a Greek word, that is a technique, which actually means the art and a craft. And the technology is not just a machine; it is a process, because it is the system. It tells us the systematic method of achieving the planned outcomes. Whatever you want to achieve, for that you are using the technology, right? Like you are doing your project work. For that project work, what you have to do first, you have to you have to search on the Google that whatever the related works which has been done, whatever the advancement has been done there, you are finding the research gaps, then you are planning further, preparing your SRS, and preparing your you are doing your project. So this is a complete process, not a product. So based on this, we can say that the education technology is art or craft of responding to our educational needs. Whatever we require for the education purpose, we are getting from the technology. So that's why this is art and craft for our educational needs. So what actually the teaching technology and education technology, as I said that the technology is used in the education for improving. For improving what? Improving the efficiency of the teaching and learning. And because of this technology, you can remember all the things whatever has been covered, because all the video lectures, everything can be recorded, and that you can later on also you can play back your videos, and then you can go through all the points whatever has been covered in that particular session. So this actually improving the retention period of you also. So this technology in the education is actually the way to improve the efficiency of the teaching and learning. So there are the traditional teaching technologies which are using either the non-projected visual aids or the projected visual aids. Under the non-projected visual aids, you were earlier having the chalkboard in the classroom. In the physical classroom, we have both the things. We have the chalkboard as well as we have the whiteboard also, right? So the chalkboard, the flannels are like the board which are for the younger kids for learning their ABCDs. Then the flashcards, the posters, the chart models. So these are all the non-projected visual aids. And under the projected visual aids, we have the overhead projectors, the slides, the television from your satellite televisions are there, by which the informations are circulating to the students and the communities are going to be formed in that way. So this is actually the evolution of a learning. Starting from the blackboard and the chalk, now we are moving towards the innovative technology, and there are the different steps inside that. From the chalk and blackboard, we have moved to the whiteboard and marker, then the transparent slides, overhead projectors. Like when we were doing the RB Tech, we were having that OHP slides were preparing, and from that the teacher was teaching to us. Now, after that, we have come to the PowerPoint, MS PowerPoint presentations, then the web-based teaching learning, then the video conferencing. Right now, we are using the video conferencing for these sessions also. Then the e-classrooms, the wireless technologies, and innovative technology. Now, as the technology is improving, our teaching and learning is also going to be changed, right? Earlier we were from the blackboard to the whiteboard. When we moved, when we then at that time also we were very happy that now the dust is not there. But now we are moving towards this, because of this advancement in the technology, we have moved towards this innovative way of the teaching also. So now, as I said, that the education technology for improving the efficiency of the teaching and learning. So now I will come to the recent teaching technologies in the education here. So first is the World Wide Web. All of you know this internet. This is actually the base of this technology. Without the internet, we cannot do anything here, right? So after that, these computers, laptops, your MacBooks for doing your work. Then the mobiles are also there. You cannot say that if the computers are there, then there is no need of mobiles. They both are having their own place. Then the video conferencing for your classrooms, then the smart class, which is now introduced into the primary schools also. These smart classrooms are there. Then the satellite technology, we have the first satellite of the India also for the education purpose only. Then this online teaching resources, and in the last I will come to the e-learning. So the internet is actually, we can say that this internet and education both are the equalizers. They both are balancing each other. From the internet, we are improving the education, and from the education only, this internet is developed. So these both are equalizers to each other. So what actually the internet is? This is actually the interlinked computers across the world, which is available to the general public, which is actually an important tool in the education for the communications. Like all the teachers and the students, they are communicating through the internet. We are taking the classes through the Google Meet or the Zoom meeting, or we are communicating through the WhatsApp. Everything is possible because of the internet only. And you still remember, maybe the 2 years back, we were not having that much internet facility here. And I also faced a lot of issue 2 years back when my supervisor sent a message to me over the WhatsApp, and I was not able to get that message for the 1 hour. So this internet is actually the base of this education, in this education technology. So, and in most of the universities, we have the distance learning courses. Like the IGNU is having the distance learning courses here in the Port Blair Center. So this technology, this internet is the base of this distance learning in the different education universities. And then all the resources which are available over the internet in the form www, this is actually located with the URL. Unique URL is identified for every resource there, and then you can download all those contents and you can learn from those things. So one of the things for the communication under the internet is the email. So by which you can communicate with anyone. You are sending the mails, and then you are getting the replies for those mails. And the advantage is that this is easy to send the information at anywhere at a long distances, but this is asynchronous. What actually we mean by the asynchronous here? Like whenever you are sending the mail at a receiver side, whenever the receiver will see, then only he or she will respond, not at the same time when you have sent. So that's why this is your asynchronous communication. Next is the computers and a laptop. This is for doing your work, like you are preparing your project, you are preparing your PPTs or checking mails or for anything. These computers and laptops are used, and even for the teachers, they are using the laptop for preparing the lesson plans, preparing their notes, preparing the grade sheets and everything. So these computers are used. Next is the mobiles and a laptop. As I said that we cannot say that the computers are there and they will replace the mobiles, or if mobiles are there they can replace the computers. Like all of you are attending your classes through the mobiles at a Google Meet, but you cannot say that the mobiles are sufficient and there is not any requirement of the computers. Computers are still required for doing your work. So the mobiles have their own place and the computers have their own place. So these mobiles are used for your attending the classes, and this technology is not only in the education sector but in the health sectors also. These mobiles are used. Like in the American Cancer Society, they have made one toll free number, and from that toll free number, the information in the form of the short taped message can be circulated to everyone. So this is the use of the technology in the health sector also. So now, for other way also, like you are at a very far place, or maybe you are not able to connect to any person you want to connect, like your doctors, then you can use through the mobiles, you can communicate with them, right? So this is the advantage of the mobile, that it is relatively inexpensive, can be operated by someone with a minimum technical knowledge, and the video calls can be made in the education or in the other sectors also through the mobile phones. Then the next is the video conferencing. So this is actually the future classrooms, right? Right now we were having the physical classrooms. Now the virtual classrooms are through the video conferencing, in which we can say that the students from not only from this place or not from this country, from the other countries also we can connect in the classrooms also. So that classroom, we can say that this is in the distributed manner to each and every countries also. So this is actually the benefit of these virtual classrooms under the video conferencing. And now this video conferencing is actually replacing your industrial visits also. Earlier we have to go to the place for the industrial visits, but now because of this video conference we can have the virtual field trips also. Like maybe in this semester we will have for the industrial visit, maybe we'll have the virtual field trips. And under this video conferencing, all the lectures which has been done, you can record all the sessions, and after that you can play back those videos also. And this video conferencing further is very much helpful in the health sectors, into the rural areas where the health facilities are not available. And then the smart class, which is actually the now base for the primary educations also in the into the schools. In the smart class there are this is actually the blend of the different technologies into a single classroom. The students are sitting, they are having their own they are having their systems, they are having their internets also. And the teachers are having their interactive whiteboards, interactive where they can write the contents onto the whiteboards, and after that those contents can be projected onto the screen via the computers, and the students can attempt the quizzes or the assessment at the same time also in the smart classroom. So the smart classroom, as I said, that this is a blend of the different technologies into a single place, like the computers, projectors, internet connectivity, and other multimedia devices. And the students will have the internet facility to do the assessment at the same time. So this is the interactive whiteboard, which is actually the main component of that classroom. This is not a whiteboard which we are having in our classrooms. This is actually the this is actually the LCD monitor, in which all the contents we are writing, that will be projected through the from the computer onto the project onto the screen also further. So this interactive whiteboard is not only for the writing, it is for the showing videos, images, illustrations, maps, and the graphs, others also. This is actually improving the way of learning and make the class more interactive, and the students will actually the younger students will actually love the way of this teaching through this interactive way. So this is further affecting the environment also, in the eco-friendly environment, because there is a no dust because of that chalk. So this is the smart classroom. This is the whiteboard under the smart classroom. Next technology here in the classrooms are like the LCD projectors, just to display the PowerPoints for the PowerPoints, the multimedia contents are displayed through this LCD projectors. Then the different equipments for the classroom, as I said, that the LCD monitors or your screens or the wireless microphones. So these are the other simple things. Then the very important technology advancement under the education sector is the satellite technology. So the first satellite, the EduSat, which was launched in the India, that is the GSAT-3, which was specifically for the purpose of the education in the 2004, and was created primarily for the purpose of providing connectivity to the school, colleges, and the higher level of the education. And it is currently used in the tribal areas of the MP under this IGNOU University. So the advantages are the real-time videos requires a minimum technical assistance, because everything will be telecast to your TVs. Then the different online teaching resources. Most of you are using the Facebook for just as a social media contents, but still it is providing some of the resources which is very beneficial for you. So there are the groups formed in the Facebook, like for the research purpose or for the health sectors, you are getting the tips. So now it's up to you how to take the Facebook, just for the time pass, or just or for getting some informative contents from the Facebook. Then the SlideShare for the presentations, for the YouTubes, for the video contents for any lectures. So this as I said, that these online teaching resources include the Facebook for your health tips, the YouTube videos, the education videos, and then the LinkedIn and a SlideShare for the PPTs and the ebooks which are available for the health and the other education sectors. And the other includes dictionaries, the Wikipedias. So all of these are the online teaching resources. You can go through these, whatever you require you can get it from those. Then the last one here is the e-learning. It is the use of the technology based tools and the process to provide for the customized learning anytime, anywhere. Like in this pandemic time, the students can interact with the faculties at any time. Like at in the night 10 o'clock, I am getting a message from the student, and I am seeing that message in the morning at 4 o'clock, then I am replying. So now because of this technology, the education this teaching learning is becoming like 24 into 7. Before this technology we were having like from 9 to 5 only, but now this is 24 into 7. Anytime the student is asking the question, and whenever we are seeing those messages and we are replying those things. So this is the e-learning, that is the customized learning anytime and anywhere. So the advantage here is like the less cost, the fast speed makes class interesting and easy to search the topics under this e-learning. So the traditional and the e-learning approach, under the traditional classrooms we were having the physical classroom, that is a limited size, and this was the synchronous communications between the teacher and the student. They were whenever the student was asking the question and the teacher is responding at the same time, that is a synchronous communication. But as we have moved towards the technology under the e-learning, so this is the space, the physical space of the classroom is not limited. Not only in the country, into the other countries also the classroom is distributed. Then anytime and anywhere any student can ask the question at any time, and the faculties are responding, and this is the asynchronous communication. The contents under the traditional classrooms are the, like PowerPoint, the transparent slides, textbooks, videos, and the collaborations. And under the e-learning, the contents are the multimedia simulations, digital libraries, and synchronous as asynchronous communication. And the personalization, this is very important part here. Under the traditional classroom the learning is the one path only, like the teacher is teaching and then you are learning from those. But under the e-learning this path is different, and this is up to the learner only how they are taking those technologies. The pace and the learning path is determined by the learning only, which contents the learner or the student has to go through and at which time. This is up to you only. So the most used technologies in the education, and most of these I have also used here, like the Google Classroom, the classroom which we have in the virtual classroom, like the Google Meet. We are taking the classes through the Google Meet from the shared link for all the classes. Then the Google Sheets. Before the Google Sheets, under the Microsoft Excel sheets, what you have to do, if you have prepared a sheet and you want to circulate that sheet to your class members, and you want that everyone, you want to take the suggestions from everyone and then include those suggestions, then you have to send that Excel sheet one by one to everyone. But now within this Google Sheet, you can just send share the link with all of your classmates, then everyone can do the changes at the same time. This is not like a Google Excel sheet. Then same way the Google Doc, which can be shared with all the users. These Google Sheets and Google Doc are actually helping in the collaborative learning. Then the Zoom meeting, which is the another way of this Google Meet. And then is the next is the WebEx, which we are using here for this webinar. Then the OBS and the OpenShot. These are actually used for preparing the videos. Then the Kahoot and the quizzes for the online assessment. And all of you know that I have used the quizzes portal in the last semester for taking the online assessments. Then the Bodhi and the Safe tool, which are actually developed by the IIT Bombay. And under the Bodhi tree, what actually is that we can prepare the interactive video lectures also. Like we are preparing the video lectures via the OpenShot, but we can make that video lectures interactive by inserting the quizzes in between that video lectures at any point. So that is done with the help of the Bodhi tree. I have done this one. And then the Safe tool. Then the Safe tool is actually for the assessment part, and which the IIT Bombay has developed. And then they are taking the attendance also through the Safe tool. So the last year is the advantage of the technology in the education. Everyone knows that the information are accessible to everyone. We can easily access the information. It is increasing the retention of the information because you can play your videos at any time, at later also. The robust information storage, the better way of the presentation, knowledge sharing made easy. And next is the teaching is made more interactive via these video sessions, reduces the physical efforts also. Like you don't have to carry the books also when you are coming. You can simply everything you have into your laptops or the mobiles, you have everything there. Then the student develop interest in the learning. It helps in the analyzing and improving the cooperative learning. And all of us know that because of this pandemic, this technology is very much used in the education, not only the education sector, in the other sectors also this is used. The use of the desktop laptops are the major component of this learning technology. And the e-learning provides the rapid growth and proved to be the best in all the sectors, especially in the education sector during this lockdown. Because during this pandemic, no, your teaching learning is not affected. This teaching learning was going on even though your schools and colleges were shut during this lockdown, and this was possible because of the technology only. The e-learning has become the mandatory component of all educational institutions these days. Earlier we were having in some of the universities, we were having the open book components, and that was through the internet only. But now you all are having the open book components. All the assessments we are doing, and you are attempting those assessment from your home, from the open book. Now it's up to you only whether you are sincere with yourself or not, whether you are attempting your assessments in a sincere way, in an honest way or not. So that's why in the beginning of this session also I told you that this is up to you only. Take the technology in a positive way or in a negative way. If you are taking it in a positive way, if you are really a good learner, then obviously you will take this technology in a positive way. So last, I am going to conclude this session. That is, the ICT and the e-learning offers the opportunities to raise the education sectors in the schools and the colleges. The large range of the ICT tools are available for the teaching and learning. You can download those things, and the closes the gap of the digital divide. Involvement of the teachers and the parents are very important here. The schools and the colleges require the sufficient fund and the training for the implementation of these e-learning through the ICT tools. And as I said that this becomes very important under this COVID-19 pandemic. So last I'll say you the thank you. This is also because of the technology we are getting this slide. The thank you in the different languages also, right? So in by this I'll close the session. If anyone has the question, they can ask your questions. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Asma Madam. The foundational principle of NEP 2020 are access, equity, quality, affordability, and accountability. The policy believes that the education system should develop good human beings with rational thinking, compassion, empathy, courage, resilience, scientific temper, creative imagination, and ethical values. With technology and access to resources imbibed with the moral and ethical values that the Indian heritage is known for, where education is believed to prosper not just within classroom walls, rather, students are inspired to become problem solvers, critical thinkers, collaborators, and creators in the real life. We believe that the sessions are very useful and shall help us to realize the objectives of NEP 2020 in building an ecosystem for students to develop a lifelong love of learning and become an asset for the nation. I express my heartfelt thanks to all the resource persons, enthusiastic participants, and the team working behind for making this 8 days long event successful. Let me tell you that we will have a Google form based assessment on the sessions, which is mandatory for all the participants for getting the certificate. The link shall be circulated in the WhatsApp group by Sri Sanjay Malhotra, Dean Student Affairs. Thank you. Jai Hind.